2023 is behind us, so we want to talk about 6 of the most talked about travel stories of 2023. We also want to talk about what we did in 2023, and we also want to talk about where we're heading in 2024. So if you want to be a part of that, stay tuned. What's going on, Adventure Fam? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to 2024. We are a week into 2024, and look, hope you're still on your New Year's resolutions. Hope you haven't given up yet. And another question, do you like this setup? Have you seen what I did with the room here, the office? I mean, it looks beautiful, right? Got the lights, got the backgrounds here, got the boards, got everything. So taking it up a little bit of a notch this year, and we're going to be on our grind this year to grow this channel. And so our first goal is to get to 1K. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but to us, it's a blessing and it's a lot. So get us to 1K. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and drop a like for this video that's coming up. So what we want to talk about in this video, we are going to talk about 6 of the most talked about travel stories in 2023. I want to give you a little bit of a recap of kind of what we did and all the things we did in 2023 as well. And I want to talk to you about what are we doing in 2024? What are the things we're doing? What's on our plate? What adventures are we going on? What do we already have planned? And we got a really big one that's coming up in a few weeks. So you're going to want to stick around to hear about what's going on in a few weeks. So let's jump right into it. Let's jump into our 6 news stories of 2023. And the first one I'm going to start with is Icon of the Seas sells out. Now, if you don't know, the Icon of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's newest ship. It's coming out and it's actually going to set sail on January 27th of this year, so just in a few weeks. And look, it's the first ship of their new Icon class, and we've been talking about this for over a year. Tickets went on sale, I believe, in October of 2022. And now it's starting to set sail in a few weeks. So Icon is going to be an amazing ship. It's going to be the new world's largest cruise ship. It's going to be amazing. It looks amazing. I got 6 water slides, different neighborhoods. It's revamped. I mean, indoor aqua dome. It's got it all. And I just recently found out, and I'm looking forward to this, it's got an all-you-can-eat crepe bar, so I cannot wait to taste those crepes. But Icon of the Seas, even though it's not technically a 2023 launch or 2023 go on sale, it is a 2023. Everybody was talking about it in the cruising community, and so it's the year of the Icon, the year of the build-up, the year of the anticipation, and that's why it's made it to our year of 2023 recap. Story number 2. There was an unusual water incident on board a Royal Caribbean ship. Now, in January of 2023, on board the Harmony of the Seas, that is one of the Oasis-class ships, one of the large ones for Royal Caribbean, there was an emergency correction of the course, emergency course correction, I should say. There was a small refugee boat that was in the middle of the ocean. Now, the Harmony of the Seas had to make an emergency course correction to avoid it, and in doing so, made the ship turn so quickly that all of the water in the pool started causing a 6-deck waterfall. So you can imagine from deck 15 where the pool is all the way down to deck 8 where Central Park is located. You can see here the water was just flowing all the way down, and luckily nobody was hurt. Thankfully nobody was hurt. The reason why this kind of hit us, kind of right in the heart, right here in January of last year, is because in November of 2022, so just a few short months prior, Sarah and I were actually on that ship, and we were sailing for our anniversary on that ship. And so just a few months prior to this incident happening, we actually were sitting in Central Park on deck 15 doing that. So it's a beautiful ship. It's an amazing ship. Crew was able to get it cleaned up really fast, which is awesome. Amazing crew on Royal, and they were able to get it quickly cleaned up. But yeah, that's story number 2. 6-deck waterfall on Royal's Harmony of the Seas. Now let's jump into story number 3. Carnival cruise line passenger caught fishing from his deck. Yes, you heard that correctly. There was a Carnival passenger apparently on this day when they were docked in Nassau, Bahamas. He really wanted some fish. Fish must not have been on the menu. Say that 6 times fast. Fish must not have been on the menu. So what did he do? He threw a line overboard while docked in Nassau. Ended up catching some fish, as you can see here. The problem with him doing this, though, is he basically disregarded the laws of Nassau and the maritime laws there, and he also disregarded Carnival policy. And you can see by the badge that he's wearing and the color of it that it looks like he's a pretty new Carnival passenger. It could be a very first time cruise passenger on Carnival. And well, let's just say it was his last cruise on Carnival as well. So that is completely a big no-no. You can't go fishing off your deck, and Carnival actually banned this gentleman from cruising in the future. So looks like it was his first and his last cruise on board Carnival. So we're going to make a hard left here, and we're going straight to the airlines. The crazy plane lady. So if you were sleeping under a rock around July 4th of 2023, you wouldn't have heard about Tiffany Gomes, but for every other normal person, you heard about Tiffany Gomes, aka the crazy plane lady. So who am I talking about? So Tiffany Gomes, on board an American Airlines flight. They were leaving from the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, going to be heading to Orlando, home of Mickey Mouse, home of Disney World, home of all of the fun, the most magical place on earth. And what does she do? Well, before takeoff, she decides that somebody on the plane is not real. Maybe they were imaginary. Maybe there was something going on in Tiffany's old little brain there, and she didn't think they were real. She stood up and started going on a very vulgar rant.
Say whatever you want. I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now that back there is not real. And you can spit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Needless to say, she was kicked off the plane. I'm hoping she was evaluated, but Tiffany Gomes is now known as the crazy plane lady all over the news. Story number 5. TSA agents are caught stealing. Now, you just can't trust anybody anymore these days, can you? TSA agents, a trio of them, that means 3 for all you people, a trio, 1, 2, and 3, all caught stealing in TSA checkpoints in Miami International Airport. This happened in July of 2023. And they were caught on surveillance cameras. So criminals, yeah, they're usually not the brightest of the bunch. On security footage, on security surveillance, they were caught stealing things out of passengers' bags. That means cash, goods, electronics, you name it. They were taking it during the security checkpoints. They ultimately were caught, charged with felonies, and yeah, ultimately arrested and put in the slammer. So this one's kind of, I'm going to watch my bags in here in a couple weeks. In a few weeks, I'm going to be watching our bags because we're flying into Miami. We're also flying out of Miami. So I'm going to be watching. I'm watching those TSA agents a little closer now. But trio of TSA agents, you made the news. You made 2023, and you made this headline right here. So congratulations to y'all. So our last story also happens in the air, and I apologize to all of you viewers. If you've been watching up to this point and you're entertained with some of these stories and you want to read more about them, great. But I'm sorry to disappoint, but this next story is quite crappy. And I mean that literally. So there was an individual on board a Delta Airlines flight all the way to Barcelona. They were in the air on their way to Barcelona when all of a sudden, this is just disgusting, the passengers started having diarrhea all up and down the aisles, all up in the airplane, full of people, full of adults, full of kids, full of, you name it, diarrhea just everywhere, all over the floor. So pretty disgusting, created a biohazard event, and the airline pilots actually can be caught on radio. I'll try to put the audio in if I can find it, but caught on radio basically telling air traffic control that they've got to be turned around, they've got to come back because somebody started having diarrhea all up and down the airplane.
It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
Oh, what would you do if you were in that situation? Tell me. Tell me, what would you do in the situation down in the comments if somebody started having diarrhea all up and down the airplane? I think that's utterly disgusting. It's gross. It happens. If you're a parent, you know it happens. But my God, you don't expect it to happen when you're on a flight where there's no real ventilation. Yeah. Oh, gross. Like I said, that's a real crappy story. But yeah, so those are 6 of the top headlines that I could find from 2023. And if you want to know more about those headlines, any of them, I'm going to link all of the descriptions to the articles down below in the description. So just go ahead and if you want to read more about those, go ahead and go to the description, and you'll be able to find links to all of those stories and more. All right, so what do we do in 2023? I kind of want to do a year in review recap with you guys because some of it happened on camera, some of it didn't. And so our first trip was in March of 2023. Our real first trip was in March of 2023. We headed over to Anaheim, California, which is about a 5.5-hour drive for us here in Phoenix, Glendale area. So we headed over to Anaheim to take Adeline over there for her birthday, which is in March. And it's kind of our annual trip that we take over there. And so we drove over there, checked into our favorite hotel, which is the West in Anaheim, and took Adeline over to Disneyland for a few days. We did the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. We got a video on that, as well. So go check that out. But the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, if you don't know about it, it's a really cool thing. If you've got little ones, you can pay for them to be a princess for the day. They take them in there. They do a whole magic kind of get their makeup ready, get them in a nice dress or a suit or whatever they choose. They could be a prince as well. And they get to wear this out and they do their hair real pretty, and it's just a cool, amazing experience, and everybody in the park looks at them like, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. So it was an amazing experience. That was our first trip of the year, and it was an amazing time, and Adeline absolutely loved it. So our second trip of the year came in June when we took our family vacation and we flew over to Orlando to hop on Royal Caribbean's Mariner of the Seas, where we went to Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, Labadee, Haiti, and Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Now, amazing trip, amazing things to do. We did the water park, the thrill water park at Coco Cay. We did all kinds of different things, played with the monkeys, and the kids had an amazing time. It was fun. It was good. The ship was amazing. It was awesome. And much smaller than our previous trip on Harmony of the Seas, of course, the Oasis class ship, but nonetheless, still an amazing time. So we spent 7 nights on board the Mariner of the Seas. And then after we came back, docked in Port Canaveral, we drove over, or took a car, I should say, over to Orlando to where we checked into the Art of Animation Resort, Disney's Art of Animation Resort, where we stayed there for about 4 or 5 nights to go to Disney World, and we went to all the different parks. We went to Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, you name it. We spent about 4 or 5 nights. I forget if it was 4 or 5 nights, but 4 or 5 nights at Disney World after our 7-night cruise, and it was an amazing time. We hadn't been to Disney World in quite some time, and so it was an amazing time to go with the kids being older, and we had an amazing vacation. It was awesome, and that was a very, very fun vacation for us, and we absolutely loved it. So that was our June trip. After our June trip, November quickly came and we were on board another ship. Now, we were supposed to go out of Florida and jump on the Wonder of the Seas. However, because we had a big trip coming up here in January, we wanted to make sure we kind of were fiscally responsible there. So we switched it over to California, left out of the port of Los Angeles on a 7-night cruise on board the Royal Caribbean Navigator of the Seas. That series is being uploaded as we speak. We've been a little behind, but go check that out. It was an amazing ship. It was very similar to, obviously, the Mariner of the Seas. It's a sister ship, so the only things that were different were some of the water slides and some other things. Playmakers was a little bigger and some other things, but identical ship pretty much to the Mariner of the Seas that we cruised in June. But we went to Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo San Lucas. If we're being honest, it wasn't our favorite cruise in terms of port stops. However, we had a great time on board. It was just myself, Sarah, and Adeline for this one. And a big milestone on that one is Adeline actually went to Adventure Ocean. That was the first time. She didn't want anything to do with Adventure Ocean on our cruise in June, but this time she actually had an amazing time, met some friends. It was awesome, and we had a great time on that cruise, so it was an amazing time. Now, in between our trips, we obviously did a bunch of things here in the state of Arizona where we live, pumpkin patches. We did the Pratt Brothers Christmas here in Arizona, which was amazing, the Christmas Spectacular, and we did a bunch of different hikes and different things around Arizona. Arizona's it's such a beautiful state. We have so much here to explore, so many things to see, and we absolutely loved it. But 2023 was a very, very good year for us in terms of kind of the things we were able to do. We understand we're very blessed and to be able to go on some of these trips, and because we understand that not everybody has the ability to do it. But and we still work full time, mind you. We take time off of work to go and do these trips, and we're very mindful about it. But and try to be methodical about it. But we still work full time jobs, Sarah and I, and so we still have our full time careers. And we've started doing the YouTube thing, and obviously we are nowhere near anywhere being able to leave our jobs by any means. So with that said, go ahead and subscribe. But we just love to travel, and our thing is we would rather go experience things and go experience different environments and cultures and places than to really buy materialistic things. We do have some things that we buy for ourselves, but most of the things we buy are for the kids. But we don't really go shopping for ourselves, but we would rather go and experience go create experiences and memories than to go buy materialistic things that we can't take with us anyway, right? So but we still work our full-time job, so we do all this in between. So in between all of the big trips, we go on hikes, we go see different local things, eateries and whatever else. But last year we had this vision. It's kind of more my vision. Sarah kind of just goes along for the ride, but it's kind of more my vision. I envisioned growing the channel last year, and I'll be honest with you, we weren't very methodical about it, and I wasn't very intentional about it, to be honest with you. I just picked it up for fun, and we put a video out here and there, and that's kind of what it was. But that kind of leads me to 2024 and what do we have in store. So my goal for this channel is to grow it. Like I said, our next milestone is 1K. We're a couple of hundred away. So we want to really get to there. We just want to reach that 1K mark. I think it's just a mental milestone that says, there's 1,000 people that are supporting us here and just watching us. And we promise we're going to bring you a ton more content. That's going to happen this year. And I'll tell you about kind of here in a couple of minutes what our first piece of content, real trip is going to be. But we want to bring a lot more content. We want to be more intentional, and we want to vlog a lot more, give you a little bit behind the scenes of our house and our, and whatever else. But we want to vlog a lot more, and we just upload, be consistent. Certainly not been consistent, and it's hard to be consistent, right, when you're working a full-time job and you're doing all these things. But we're going to be a lot more consistent, a lot more intentional about this YouTube thing, and really start uploading more because we want to treat it as family videos. We obviously want to bring content to you guys. Every time we experience something, we want to bring it to the world for anybody that wants to see it, in case have the opportunity to go or you're researching or whatever else. And we want to bring you that content, but more so, right, so our kids can look back and see the things that we've done, and it's kind of our way of kind of documenting that. So it's going to be a good 2024. I can feel it already. But what do we have coming up in 2024? We're going to be more intentional. We're going to put up a lot more videos, a couple times, 2-3 times a week. We've got a couple of trips planned. Let me talk about that right now, actually. So our very first trip is coming up in a few weeks, actually, on the 27th of this month. You may have connected the dates already, but on the 27th of this month, actually on the 26th, Sarah and I are actually flying over to Miami, and we are hopping on board the Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. We will be on that inaugural sailing on the 27th of January. And when I say we're excited, we're excited. It's an understatement. I think I might be a lot more excited than Sarah. But there's going to be a lot of content creators. There's going to be a lot of, just, I'm sure, executives and whatever else. It's the inaugural cruise. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. And it's just going to be so fun to experience it. Sarah and I never get to really go out and do things on our own. And that's okay. We've got kids, and they're our responsibility and our priority, and we treat it as such. We don't have people watch our kids hardly ever. And so this is kind of one of those times we're going away on our own, and so we're really looking forward to it. But the Icon, you guys are going to come with us. We're going to show you the Icon. We're going to be live streaming some. We're going to be doing some videos on some, and you're going to get to see it. And it's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be awesome. And so we're also trying to plan a summer vacation now, trying to figure out what we're going to do for that. Looking at some different places like Tennessee, or even just California, or we've done Big Bear before, maybe Colorado. We don't know what we're going to do yet. We're pricing things out. and we're trying to figure out Christmas too. We're thinking about maybe taking a Christmas trip. So trying to figure all that out in between. But it's going to be a great year, and I hope you guys support us, and I hope you guys continue to watch, and we love you guys. Anybody that's watching this video, whether you're subscribed to us right now because you decided you wanted to enter one of our contests that we've given away, or you're just coming across this video for the first time, and you're watching till the very end of this, we appreciate it, and we love it, and we appreciate your time, because I know everybody's time is valuable, so we really appreciate it, and we just want you to, you know, continue to support us. That's it. I promise you we're going to bring you some content. So we love you guys. That's it. 2024 is going to be an amazing year, not only for us, but for you as well. I just know it. And let us know. What are your resolutions for the new year? What do you got coming up? You got any big trips planned? Are you going to be on the Icon of the Seas? If you are, let us know. Maybe we'll grab a drink. Who knows? But let us know kind of what you got planned for the year. And hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. And hit the like button as well. So we love you. I know it's a lot to ask, but it's free. It doesn't take but 2 seconds of your time to do so. But we love you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. So peace.